MODOK is in this movie?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Just an amuse-bouche of MODOK.
Oh, I had no idea.
Got a couple of big trailers for you coming out in the last day or so. But first, have you checked out Riverside? Do you see how glowing our skin looks in 1080p? We don't have a single pore between us, me and Alonso. We're looking good thanks to Riverside. You can record for video, for audio, for YouTube, for podcast, for social media. I just did a little Instagram story of our treat box thing. So it's really multi-purpose. You can edit in it. A lot of fun. We have 15% off any subscription level at Riverside. So check them out. We got a link below. I'm thankful that they're around. We have a couple of big trailers for you. So last night during the National Championship game, which is football, Alonso.
Yes, one of my nieces, when I was leaving Atlanta after Christmas, asked me if I was going to the game because it was in Los Angeles. And I said, This is the first I am hearing about it, so no.
It was Georgia versus TCU.
I heard. Who won?
I love Georgia kicked the crap out of TCU, which I enjoy as an SMU grad. That was very fun to watch. But yes, it was at SoFi.
I had two nieces who went to Georgia, so yay.
There you go. Go Dogs, indeed. But they played during the game, they played like the latest big full trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
I'm the man who can give you the one thing you want. What's that? Time.
Mm-hmm. And it looks pretty cool. That first trailer, I was not feeling very optimistic about it. Like the dialogue just seemed clunky, but the effects look really cool. They remind me of like in that first Doctor Strange, kind of the deconstruction and the reconstruction of reality. Reminded me a lot of that. We get to see a ton of Jonathan Majors as Kang.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And we get to see glimpses of a more dramatic side to Paul Rudd than we get to see ordinarily, and a little smidgen of MODOK.
MODOK is in this movie?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Just an amuse-bouche of MODOK.
Oh, I had no idea. All right. Great. Bring it.
Yeah. So that's coming out on February 17th. We will definitely have a review of that for you guys next month. And then we also have a trailer for a movie that I think a lot of you guys are psyched about, and that is Beau is Afraid.
Welcome back.
I hit you with my car.
What?
I know.
This is the latest from Ari Aster, who, of course, did Midsummer and Hereditary, stars Joaquin Phoenix. And it looks trippy, like you would expect from anything from Ari Aster. But I can't shake the feeling that I have seen so many elements of this before. And part of that is that they use Goodbye Stranger by Supertramp in the trailer, which, has been around for decades, but I always associate it now with Magnolia.
Yes.
First of all,
yeah, definitely.
There seems to be a bit of a Truman Show element to it. There seems to be a lot of like Wizard of Oz kind of Odyssey to it. Anyway, it's a fantastic cast. Besides Joaquin Phoenix, you got Amy Ryan and Nathan Lane and Toni Collette and Patti LuPone.
Woo!
Megan had an enormous opening weekend. Megan opened to $30 million, which I think is even higher than anyone could have expected. It was, certainly buzzworthy and memeable and all that good stuff, but a horror movie the first week in January.
I mean, that's often we get a horror movie that weekend just as sort of counter programming to all the sort of holdover Oscar buzz stuff. And, they do okay, but this one really got reviews, which these movies never get, those first weekend in January movies. And you're right, very memeable, very buzzy. Never underestimate the power of word of mouth. So Dave and I are seeing it tomorrow. I'm psyched.
Yeah. And they were really canny about how they marketed this because Allison Williams, who stars in it, went on the Today Show and they had this army of Megans behind her in the window. They were really smart about how they've used their social media and used their army of creepy dolls. So that happened. And to no one's surprise, there was a sequel in the works. So.
Of course.
The Golden Globes are tonight, Alonso. What are you going to wear?
An air of disdain.
I don't think I even know who's nominated. I'm going to guess The Fabelmans and Babylon.
Yeah, Babylon's up for a bunch of stuff, I remember. I think they did actually nominate Brendan Fraser, even though he said, I'm not going, which is fascinating. Yeah, I really don't know. No one's... it's not been talked about much, and I think the HFPA is still very much in a we're trying to fix this thing, mode right now after several years worth of scandals and people sort of pointing out the homogeneity of the membership and the sort of, let's say, amenability of the membership to enjoy the largesse of nominees. So, no one's ever taken the Globe strictly seriously, I don't think, but it's been a useful tool to promote movies and TV shows and to sort of generate Oscar buzz and, show people, here's an acceptance speech that you might want to have us do again in a couple of months, that sort of thing. So,
yeah. I mean, can we even watch this on television?
I believe NBC is airing it, but they
are going to do it again.
Yes, but they're airing it on a Tuesday, so that's
right.
That's their capitulation, I guess.
Yeah. So I will be taking my kid to water polo practice. I don't plan on watching the Golden Globes. Let us know if you guys care or not. What is important, of course, you and your fancy buddies at the National Society of Film Critics made your picks over the weekend. What did you guys pick?
So Tar got Best Picture, Best Actress, and I think Best Screenplay, right? And then director went to Charlotte Wells for After Sun. Best Actor was Colin Farrell for After Yang and Banshees. I don't have this in front of me, so I feel bad now. Carrie Conran won for Banshees. I know that.
Wow.
So yeah, it was, and then, foreign was EO and international. Nonfiction was All the Beauty and the Bloodshed.
And your DP winner was EO as well, right? Like a lot of your picks fell in line with our LA Film Critics picks. Right?
I don't know that there is. God,
do you not?
You are so putting me on the hot seat right now. This was my first time. So
again, if I may reiterate, it was in the email. I like to keep you apprised of things.
I know. And I was there. You'd think I would know this, but now I'm pulling it up now just so I know.
Okay.
Ke Huy Quan, of course, won supporting actor. And he, like Tar as Best Picture, was a trifecta for LA, New York, and National Society.
Oh.
So that was very cool.
Looking good for Colin Farrell, looking good for Ke Huy Quan.
Absolutely. You're right.
Looking good for Kate Blanchett.
For sure, yes. Cinematography, you're right. Michael Dimick for EO, which also won not in the best film not in the English language. Nonfiction film was All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, and then we gave 3 Film Heritage Awards: one to the great Janine Basinger, one to a New York publication called Screen Slate that I don't know, but it sounds like they do a lot of really good work as far as alerting people about repertory and other opportunities within New York City, and then one to Turner Classic Movies as sort of a reminder of their importance of the and how great their curation is, given the current tumult that's been going on at Warner Brothers Discovery.
Oh, right. That's good. We're going to have more Wednesday. Today is Tuesday, but a second season of Wednesday is in the works at Netflix. Have you seen that show?
Not a second of it.
Nick watched the whole season, so I have seen pieces of it coming in and out, and it looks really cool. Love Jenna Ortega and anything. It just looks really fun.
I've heard good things. I have to say, for me, the hurdle was fool me once with Dark Shadows, Tim Burton. I don't necessarily want to see your Addams Family, but I guess maybe now that it's a thing now and it's successful and they're doing a second season, I may have to dig into it at some point.
Yeah, it looks really cool from what I've seen. And then there's also going to be a second season of Pitch Perfect, Bumper in Berlin. Are you aware there was a first season?
I was aware there was a first season, although I wasn't clear if it was a movie or a show. But all right, well, good for Adam
Devine.
And Devine, sorry.
Not the lead singer of Maroon 5.
No, different one. Adam Devine, who I don't know if you heard this week, Paramount canceled. Paramount Plus was going to do a what's the Comedy Central show that he was on?
Workaholics.
Thank you. I kept thinking Clock Watchers, and that was it. They were going to do a Workaholics movie, and then they pulled the plug right before production was supposed to start.
He's also the voice of Pizza Steve on Uncle Grandpa. He refers to himself in the third person as Pizza Steve. He's a talking piece of pizza.
Of course.
And then Adam Rich died at 54. What a horrible, sad story. Sort of like the textbook of what happens to a lot of child stars, unfortunately.
Sadly, yes.
Yeah.
It's a bummer. He was, I was like we were right the same age. I remember seeing him on TV, and that was the era when, like, if you were in a sitcom, you would pop up in other stuff. Like, you'd be a guest on Donnie and Marie. You'd be on Fantasy Island. Like, you would just be in other things.
Love Beau.
And yeah, exactly. And I thought it was really great. And it is. I think this is a really terrible industry when it comes to kids, and it's better than it used to be, but it's still terrible. If if you read, I'm glad my mother is dead or whatever, like, you still hear the more recent graduates of like your Nickelodeon Disney school telling horror stories. So yeah, it is very sad. He was a talented kid.
Yes. Nicholas Bradford on Age is Enough. He was 54 years old.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.